Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we take the sources you send us, could be articles, research, maybe even your own notes, and we really dig in to pull out the most important insights. Our goal, to give you a shortcut to being genuinely informed, maybe share a few surprising things, and hopefully keep it interesting. Today, we're tackling something pretty fascinating. Could humanity be, getting closer to more intense extraterrestrial contact? And maybe the bigger question is, are we ready for that? We're going to unpack what one particular source predicts for the year 2026. It's being called a pivotal time. We'll look at the core messages and how our own choices, individually and collectively, are set to play a role. Our main source here is a transcript from a YouTube channel, SOU LUZ Divina. It features a message from someone or something called Tia of the Arcturian Council.
Right, often described as a channeled entity, a collective consciousness from Arcturus, supposedly guiding humanity's evolution.
Exactly. So our mission is to understand these predictions and what they might mean. Okay, let's get into it. So, this core prediction about 2026. What exactly does the source say makes that year so significant? Why 2026?
Okay, so the message, it flags 2026 as a fundamental moment.
Fundamental how?
For what it calls a magnificent emergence. That's the phrase of opportunities for extraterrestrial interactions.
Right.
And it's not presented as just a random date. It's linked to the frequencies of the Earth.
The planet's energetic vibration kind of thing.
Yeah, essentially. The idea is that our planet's frequency is aligning more deeply with the galactic community.
The wider network of civilizations out there.
Exactly. It's framed as this sort of long-awaited alignment.
And it sounds like it's not just, boom, 2026, everything changes. There's a lead up.
Precisely. The source is quite specific about 2025 as well. It says 2025 is being prepared for more contacts extraterrestrials, or just more ET contacts than ever before.
Okay.
With the veils between worlds thinning rapidly and more frequent manifestations of UAP in your skies.
UAP, unidentified aerial phenomena.
Right. So it definitely suggests an acceleration of process already underway.
That's quite the buildup. Now, these ideas, they aren't totally unheard of in public discussions lately, are they? Does the source connect this to things happening now?
It does, yeah. It specifically notes that, quote, UFOs and ETs are being discussed with frequency in your world congresses, particularly in the United States.
Those hearings and reports.
Exactly. And the source sees this as direct evidence of a widening of human perception. Basically, what used to be fringe is hitting the mainstream, becoming a real topic of conversation.
So if this contact is potentially ramping up, who's actually ready for it, according to this message? Is it everybody? Or specific people?
Well, it points to awakened individuals. It says they're on the vanguard of this expansion.
Awakened individuals. What does that mean in this context?
Generally, people who've had some kind of shift in consciousness, more aware of spiritual or, non-physical realities. They've supposedly prepared through things like inner work, meditation, and vibrational alignment.
Okay, so tuning their own energy.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Which makes them more receptive, as the source puts it, to these higher dimensional communications. Their energy field is supposedly more compatible.
Okay, so if contact is intensifying, what does that actually look like? What forms does the source say it might take? Are we talking spaceships landing everywhere?
It describes a range of possibilities.
Yeah.
Definitely predicts an increase in unidentified aerial phenomena sightings, more UAPs.
Right.
But also things like telepathic communications, described as like gentle whispers from the stars.
More subtle then.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then for those who are really tuned into these higher vibrations, it even suggests the possibility of physical encounters.
Wow, okay. Physical encounters, that's a big step.
It is. It covers a whole spectrum.
But why? What's the purpose behind all this, according to Taya? It sounds deliberate.
Very much so. It's described as a, quote, deliberate orchestration of the universe.
Orchestration for what?
To bridge the gaps between dimensions. To allow for a harmonious fusion of realities. That's the language used.
A fusion of realities. What would that achieve?
The purpose seems multifaceted, sharing wisdom, technologies, and healing modalities. Specifically mentioning things like helping with environmental restoration and emotional healing on Earth.
So practical help for global issues?
Yes, but also to enrich our understanding of the cosmos and reveal more about your cosmic heritage, suggesting, deeper roots than we might think.
So it's framed not just as sightings, but as a kind of planned evolution, a step towards cooperation and discovery.
Exactly. A deliberate move towards a new era of cooperation and discovery, moving from planetary isolation towards galactic integration.
Galactic integration. That's quite a phrase. It really emphasizes this idea of mutual progression.
Yes, a natural next step, as the source seems to imply.
Now, you mentioned readiness earlier. The source seems to really stress the individual's role here. How important is personal readiness?
It says it's primordial. That's the word used. Your personal readiness for more extraterrestrial contacts is primordial.
Primordial. Okay, so fundamental. Are there signs? How would someone know if they're becoming more ready or open?
It lists things like subtle impulses, maybe sudden urges or ideas, vivid dreams that linger upon waking, intuitive flashes that guide you, or those inexplicable synchronicities where things just line up perfectly.
Right, those meaningful coincidences.
Yes. These are seen as signs that you're aligning with these higher dimensional beings or frequencies, and it emphasizes that your openness acts as a magnet, drawing in benevolent beings.
A magnet. So air interstate attracts the experience.
That's the core idea. It says every thought and intention that you project contributes to the collective field. So your personal vibration literally attracts corresponding experiences, potentially amplifying harmonious exchanges.
So if someone feels this resonance or wants to consciously invite these kinds of experiences, does the source give any practical advice? How can you prepare?
It does, actually. It talks about having clarity in your desires.
Clarity, like knowing what you want.
Exactly. It advises you to specify the nature of the experiences that you seek. Are you looking for peaceful dialogues? Or maybe technological exchanges?
Okay.
And even specifying the beings with whom you wish to connect.
Really? Be specific about the beings, too.
Apparently, yes. Because it says, this intention shapes your reality with precision and power. Your focused intent matters. And this ties into the idea that your reality is malleable, shaped by your consciousness.
Right.
The source claims that the limitations imposed by third-dimensional constructs, our normal perceived reality, are rapidly dissolving.
Dissolving to allow what?
Access to long-forgotten freedoms. It mentions things like multidimensional travel and instant communication.
Whoa, okay, like astral travel.
It explicitly mentions astral journeys, yes, but also potentially physical manifestations.
That's fascinating. The idea that the universe responds directly to your vibrational signature with precision and care. It puts a lot of emphasis, maybe even responsibility, on the individual.
It really does. It positions the individual not just as a passive observer, but an active participant in shaping these potential interactions.
Okay, we've talked a lot about the individual. What about the collective? Humanity as a whole. How does the source see our role in this bigger picture?
Well, there's a strong call for unity. It urges humanity to unite as one, to set aside divisive beliefs and ideologies, and evolve spiritually together.
Easier said than done, perhaps?
Perhaps. But it highlights the role of starseed individuals here.
Starseeds. People who feel they originate from elsewhere.
That's the general concept, yes. The source says they should lead the charge with open disclosure to help normalize the idea of ET presence, help us move beyond old ways of thinking.
And what happens if humanity does manage to become more open, more unified?
According to the source, it acts as a catalyst for profound changes. It mentions things like awakening dormant DNA filaments that hold ancient knowledge and enhancing our perceptive abilities.
So unlocking latent human potential.
That's the idea. And on a bigger scale, this collective openness helps anchor these energies firmly in Earth's grid.
Anchor energies. Creating what?
Creating bridges between Earth and the wider galaxy, facilitating a free exchange of ideas and innovations.
That's a huge vision. But these kinds of massive shifts, they often come with challenges, right? Skepticism, fear. Does the source address how to navigate that?
It doesn't dwell on the negative, but it implicitly addresses it through its advice. The main thing is to prioritize your vibrational state above all else.
Keep your frequency high, essentially.
Exactly. Through practices like gratitude and mindfulness, it even gives some very practical tips.
Like what?
Things like staying hydrated, apparently for better energetic conduction, doing grounding practices to stay rooted, and maintaining heart focus to remain centered. The goal is to release those lower vibrations, like fear or doubt, that might arise. And connecting this to the bigger picture, the source encourages exploring your internal universe, which it says is holographic by nature, meaning the whole is in every part and brimming with joyful possibilities.
A holographic internal universe.
Yeah. And it adds an encouraging note. You cannot return to previous states of unconsciousness once the light has been lit within you. Like once you awaken, you can't fully go back.
Okay, so let's try to wrap this up. The core message from this source seems to be that 2026 is potentially a major turning point, a time for humanity's connection with galactic life to expand significantly. And this process is driven, or at least heavily influenced, by individual readiness, our conscious intentions, and a collective shift towards unity.
That captures it well. The source emphasizes that the galaxy pulses with diverse beings of light who are ready to connect. But they're particularly tuned into those vibrating at frequencies of co-creation and harmony. So the absolute core message is vibration is the key. Key to safety, fulfillment, and that joyful connection they talk about.
Vibration is the key. All right. So what does this all mean for you listening right now? As you perhaps start to embrace your own multidimensional nature, as the source puts it, what third dimensional constructs, what limitations, maybe self-imposed in your own life, might be ready to dissolve? What could letting go of those allow you to access? Maybe those long forgotten freedoms or new ways of connecting and understanding that this deep dive touched on. And maybe, as the source suggests, pay a little closer attention to your dreams. It advises looking meticulously for hidden contexts, suggesting they may reveal true interactions that carry messages. Food for thought.